Hello Divine, welcome and thank you for clicking on this video. These reads are going to be for the energetic navigation of the period of the full moon in Virgo, which is occurring March 18th around 12:21 Pacific Standard Time, 3:21 Eastern Standard Time. And again, thank you for clicking on these videos. I really hope that the messages within will assist you with your intentional navigational guidance through this period. I'm going to be using 3 different decks and I'm so excited to get into it. And be sure to click the description box so that you can go directly to your desired destination with the signs specified in groupings. And then I'm also going to go into each sign specifically to give an oracle message, specifically the art oracle. And I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello divine mutable signs, that's Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius. I'm going to go ahead and pull your messages right now. It's so awesome because it is the sun period of Pisces while it is the moon period of Virgo. That's double mutable energy. And I feel like this is a good time to go inside to sort of really assess how we're feeling internally. And see what needs to be most worked on. I'm going to pull 3 cards from this deck. Well, I'll let 3 cards jump out from this deck, rather. Alright. So, yeah, and I think that with the things we find out, we're going to find a new beginning, a new, with these cards that came out, a new sense of restarting in those aspects. I'm going to next pull clarifications. But yes, oh wow, we have the 3 of Swords. So we got the 3 of Swords, the number 9, which is also in this deck, the Sun, the 9 of Clubs, and then we have 0, which is the Fool in this deck as well. Wow, this is really good energy. So the 3 of Swords, if you're not already familiar, is a card that sort of typically conveys heartbreak and upset, disappointments. And I think that with that we're coming into a new sort of energy with this Sun coming out, with this 9 coming out. 9 is very indicative of endings, right? Of the period before a rebirth, before a beginning, which is conveyed in this Fool, which is a 0. Okay? That is really awesome. I'm going to pull some clarification cards for these to see. We have the Star, and that came out with Strength. Okay, so maybe we're finding a new way to apply our strengths and go forth. Maybe with a new perspective, seeing where we can where it will pay off more. We're not looking, it's really looking within and not looking outside of ourselves, right? Which is beautiful. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Yeah, with these, you're gonna hear probably my a dog barking and baby crying because I'm at my sister's house and my 5-day-old nephew was just born, and there is a very cute little puppy here. So just so you know, just to keep you on guard. All right, so we got the Star that came out with Strength. Yeah, it's gonna take some sense of control, or knowing when to let go of control, especially knowing or what to let go of. There are things that I accidentally cut off the video, but there are things that I feel that have been in maybe our lives, in our experiences, that we've been holding on to, okay? And I think that when we find the ability, the space, the actual opportunity to be able to let certain things go, we'll be able to go forth with even more sense of support and stability, with this Six of Wands coming out with this King of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe we're feeling exhausted and drained of resources, of energy when it comes to certain things, and I think that's really going to help highlight and illuminate those things that we need to let go of, that are sort of causing us more grief than, you know, glory, and go into this new sense of abundance with this zero, the way that this is depicted, and you know, almost start again or start anew, which is really exciting. Page of Pentacles, the Lovers. The Lovers came out reversed. So I think that it's about not so much looking outside of yourself and really becoming aligned with yourself, right? The Lovers has, you know, two counterparts here. And I think that it really talks about, with it coming out reverse, next to the Page of Pentacles reverse, not looking outside of yourself and really sort of doing that diligence of practicing that self-love, of really establishing that sense of self-love, and recognizing what things have been distracting and tearing you away from that. The strength that comes from that. You have the Strength card up here with the Star, and I think that is speaking of finding that aspect of self-love so that you can go forth in the direction that really does reflect you. And I think that this reading is actually really great, mutables. So I'm going to pull a card right now for Pisces. We're in Pisces season. I'm going to pull a card from the Art Oracle deck and see what that has to say for you, Pisces. Okay. So we got Wassily Kandinsky. It says transcend systems to find spirit. Hear music through sight. Ooh, excuse me. And begin with a dot. So maybe it's about really pacing yourself, Pisces, pacing yourself through this time. And I mean, I see when it comes to what I was saying earlier, that reflection, we have this eye here. We have a bunch of things, and a bunch of things that sort of are, what's that word? Congruent. They really represent congruency. Okay, so take your time. Take things a step at a time. Maybe be more detail-oriented at this time of the full moon in Virgo, and I think that you'll find a lot of reward in that. Now I'm going to pull a card for Virgo. Ooh. And we got William Blake for you, Virgo. Hell is hypocrisy on earth, is what this says. Vision requires not sight, but spirit. And then madness in life, genius in death. So I think that this really talks about legacy. For one thing, like keeping in mind what you're putting out, and if it is reflecting you. I think that this theme of reflection keeps coming back up with vision. You want your spirit to reflect your vision, and I think that hypocrisy is the opposite of reflection. I think that hypocrisy is sort of cheating yourself. So I think that with this, you can take this message and sort of channel it into a second thought whenever you're doing something. Like, is this really what I want to be doing? Is this really who I am, type of thing? Is this really reflecting who I am, okay? With everything you do. And it may be what you choose to do now may not be taken in as, like, you know, the most ideal thing in others' eyes, or things like that. But I think that with this madness in life, genius, and death aspect of this card, I do believe that, you know, it will supplement you the most, like your livelihood, okay? Alright, Virgo, that's your message from the Art Oracle, and now I'm going to go into Sagittarius. Sagittarius in the Art Oracle. Oh, 2 cards came out. We got Jean Cocteau, and we got Louise Bourgeois. Okay, so for Jean Cocteau, it says that the story only seems one-sided. There is no such thing as a happy ending. Find your future in the past. Oh, wow, okay. And then remembering art, for Louise Bourgeois, we have remembering through art is better than forgetting, and inference is worth 1,000 appendages, and draw on private pain to connect with the public. So with these 2 cards, I really feel like I was saying, that the message is to go into ourselves. Okay, that was the message of the overall read, right? So with the clarity, and I think that the introspection that happens right now is going to sort of show you how to portray your feelings and the messages of the experiences from your past in a clearer and more profound way, maybe to you or to others. I think that with Find Your Future in the Past from Jean Cocteau, I keep saying it's way different ways because I don't know how to say his name, and I apologize. But I think that really there may be something that had been skipped over in your past, or that you've neglected, or that you left out, or that you had just left behind, and maybe not even, you know, going back to retrieve those things, but really getting a full understanding of how those things affected your life, and how it's enriched you, right? And enriched your story, okay? Remembering through art, maybe you have a particularly artsy sense, and maybe you don't recall that you do, type of thing. Maybe you don't recall that that aspect of yourself because life has thrown all these things at you, and it's just been swept under the rug, essentially, okay? And I feel like this is urging you to connect with the public as well, in the way that's best for you, not the way that's everybody else is doing it, per se, you know? So I think that is awesome, and that is your message, Sagittarius. Just do you know, go within as well. Go within and really, really reflect on yourself and who you are and what you want in your life, okay? Thank you, Sagittarius. Hello, Divine Geminis. I realized that I accidentally skipped right over you guys, so I'm going back in and I'm going to pull your Art Oracle message for this time period of the full moon in Virgo. That's happening March 18th, 2022. Let's see what the Art Oracle has to say for you. Awesome. So you got Titian, and Titian says, go viral, not bacterial. A flattered client is a repeat client. Your personality can be as colorful as your canvas. So the initial message talked about, like, you know, finding light in a new beginning, and sort of really staying focused. I think that with Titian coming out, it's letting you know, there goes my nephew, not the one that was just born, but it's letting you know that there are different ways to approach going forward, and that you want to do your self-diligence, right? And stay true to yourself in the messages that you're putting out, the energy you're putting out. And trust that, like, it will be received by the energies that need to receive it, that are seeking to receive it. Because just as you may not realize that there are people who are looking for exactly what you've got to offer, that what you've got to offer is very plentiful and very, very bountiful. Yeah, you're a behemoth. Don't shy away from light, being the light in the room, as they say. Gemini, allow yourself to be on display, essentially. Be vulnerable. That's something that I'm really seeing here. I think that there is a gift that comes out of allowing yourself to be vulnerable that maybe you haven't received before, and that is just awaiting your reception. So that's something that I definitely see from this Titian coming out with the rest of the read. And it may be really hard, as I was saying before. This is a period of time, given the message from the cards that came out for the mutable signs, of potentially knowing what to let go of, and knowing if you need to let go, and knowing how to let go. And just like anything else, like, that's desired in your life, to go into your life and make life the best it can be, it takes a lot of strength to do that. It's easy to say, just let it go, but it takes a lot of strength. So be patient with yourself. Be open with yourself at this time, I would say, and be honest. So that you don't have foggy glasses or foggy lenses that you're seeing through when going forward. Okay, like it said, don't be bacterial, be viral. You want your energy to be infectious and uplifting and flattering, essentially. So, yes, that is your message, Gemini, for this period of the full moon in Virgo. And thank you so much. Stay divine. You are divine. So stay true to yourself, okay? Thank you, Gemini. Hello, divine cardinals. Thank you for jumping in here in this video. I'm going to be reading collectively for the cardinals first with some clarification, and then I'll be pulling oracle cards from the Art Oracle for each sign. Cardinals are Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, Libra. We're going to start with Aries, since Aries is up next in the timeline of 2020. We have the King of Hearts as the first card in your message. Oh. All right. Let's see what else for the cardinal signs. What main messages for this period. Ooh. That's what happened. And then this card. Alright, so a bunch of hearts. A bunch of emotional type of energy going on. So let's see. King of Hearts. King of Hearts, very secure. And the way that he moves, even when he's not moving, he understands why he's not. And everything that he pours into sort of pours back into him, which is awesome and beautiful. He's very intentional. with his emotions and with his actions. So I would say that's a good message going into this time period of the full moon in Virgo, the 18th of March. For you, cardinal signs, is to really just be sure of your steps, right? And then we have the Five of Hearts. Five of Hearts is needing to let things go and not wanting to, sort of, with it coming out reversed here. There are some things that, like, it may hurt to let things go. It may not feel good, but I see that with the Ten of Hearts as your last message card here, that once you're able to let things go and sort of let bygones be bygones, that's when you'll get in line, more aligned with your process going forward and get the most out of your process going forward, okay? I'm going to pull some clarifications. Those are just some, these are the messages, and I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifications. See what, more or less, what you're dealing with. The Three of Cups has been wanting to come out. The World. Okay. This card is also the World in this deck, so I think that the fact that it's here twice is sort of saying sky's the limit, and even more, I think it's also, the World to me is also, you know, reinforcing boundaries, or setting up boundaries, reestablishing them, so that you are able to be reflected in everything you do, okay? We have the Knight of Pentacles with the Six of Swords. Okay, so yes, I think that usually, at least for many cardinal signs, I know cardinals are ready to get things going, ready to get things started, ready to charge in, you know? And I think that with the Six of Swords coming out with the Knight of Wands, that it's saying, you know, relax and allow other people to to impact your life and sort of you know, let down your burdens with this Ten of Wands that just came out, and you know, sort of allow yourself to be guided through loving and divine energy, you know, as opposed to, you know, sort of trying to be in control of everything, because that control will weigh you down. This card is the Hermit. The Hermit came out. Yeah, so maybe at this time, cardinal signs, introspection would be a great thing to do some meditation, reflections. You have the Seven of Cups. There are a bunch of choices for you right now, of a lot of options of things that you can be doing, of things that you can give and invest into, right? And I think community would be a great option for that, like being invested in your community, enriching your community, allowing your community to enrich you, okay? That is a big thing. And then really giving yourself the time and attention that you deserve, okay? Yeah. Eight of Wands, quickly. Okay, so you're by doing this, by embracing your boundaries and embracing your sense of, you know, input and who puts into you, I think that you'll quickly come to realize, you know, which ways are for you and which ways aren't, and which ways contribute toward this wholeness and don't. Okay, Cardinal? I would do meditating with this Hermit card. Really allow yourself to be guided divinely and meditate on the things that you find conflict in. So for the cardinal signs are Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. I'm going to start with Aries for your direct message from the Art Oracles. Okay? Alrighty. And this message is from Yayoi Kusama, and it says your soul is comprised of the same dots as the universe. Distinguish yourself from your mirror image and show them your hallucinations. So I would say that with this card coming out, Aries, it's obviously all of these readings are open for your own interpretation and to be applied to your life individually and your situations individually. But I definitely would say that it's sort of like namaste. I see the divine in you. I recognize your divinity, and I think that it's also, I feel that this reading is also saying to recognize that in yourself, and to embrace yourself, show them your hallucinations. I think that is so funny that card came out, because there is this sense of reestablishing your boundaries, and I think that when you are able to be free with yourself around everyone else, and you'll be able to see who is in your corner and who isn't, essentially, and who you want to keep around, and who you vibe with, basically. For the next sign, Cancer, you got Ai Weiwei. Ai, it's A-I, Weiwei, W-E-I, and it says authority can be quiet. When authority says be quiet, get a loudspeaker. Art must fight for freedom, or the whole world is a prison. Some things are whole only when they shatter. Yeah, so I think that this is really encouraging you, Cancer, to possibly play with your perspective, change your perspective on things. Instead of being the one that's always caring and rushing in and doing all these things, allow yourself to be cared for, because it's backbreaking stuff, you know? It's backbreaking stuff, and it doesn't need to be, okay? With this King of Hearts, flow out. Go with the flow, okay? And if there are some cups that don't, if there are some situations, some people that don't necessarily vibe with your flow, that will be highlighted at this period. Let's see, next we have Libra. Libra, let's see if the Art Oracle has for you. This one literally jumped out at me. Okay, so 2 jumped out at me. Actually, it was 2. I didn't realize that. We got Georgia O'Keeffe and Joseph Bayous. And Georgia O'Keeffe says, nature can keep a secret, keep Freud guessing, and you can't run away from yourself, but running away from others can be quite productive. That, again, plays into the boundaries aspect. For Joseph Bayous, it says, you also contribute to humanities, and I cannot pronounce this, so I'm going to take it slow. Gesamtkunstwerk. It says twerk at the end, which is pretty awesome. Make sure your rabies shots are up to date, and symbolism is just one ambulance ride away. Great, so yeah, I think that definitely speaks on that self-care aspect, and also that flowing aspect, flowing out and reflecting, getting out what you put in, essentially, and possibly even more, okay? So I would be really, really mindful of the way that we speak, of the way that we navigate our physical bodies, in addition to our internal energies at this time. There's like a ravenous barking dog, probably a barking dog with rabies, and I'm sure that he doesn't know that he has rabies because he's a dog, but I'm sure he knows there's something up. But yeah, dogs bark as a sign of basically being bothered, and I think that that others may be bothered, and maybe that the way that they're expressing it may not be so kind at this time. And I think that's a challenge for you to be even more kind. You know what I mean? Be even more kind, not only to them but to yourself, and go into that hermit mode. This looks like the same type of person here. They both have staffs, and so that's really awesome. That's really awesome that that would be highlighted. And then we're going to pull a card for you, Capricorn. Capricorn, our oracle, what do you got to say for Capricorn? Yeah, Virgo, the Virgo moon, Virgo's a lot about, like, reliability, being reliable and trustworthy. So I feel like that may be tested by a lot of individuals at this time. Alright, you got Francisco Goya, Cardinal, Capricorns. You are Cardinal, so I'm not wrong. And there's a ram on it, like, or a goat. Yeah, there's a goat on it. So this is for you, Capricorn. It says, in case of emergency, locate your nearest exile. A good caricature is no exaggeration, and truth takes shape in shadow. Okay, so I tried to do a live today, and I sort of wanted to highlight, the balance of light and shadow work for each of us. And I think that that's awesome that this truth takes shape in shadows, because I feel like there can be a lot of things at this moment with the full moon. The moon itself in tarot sort of symbolizes, like, things being hidden and just sort of waiting for their time to be illuminated when the moon sets. You know what I mean? So allow yourself to. I think this is encouraging you to allow yourself to take risks, but not totally let yourself be, not go about it in a naive way, and to be mindful, and truthful and whole going into anything you do at this period. And to remind yourself that, the shadow side of you is just as important as and vital as the light side of you, okay? They both make up who you are, and to not be ashamed of it. Alright, Capricorn, thank you so much. Thank you, cardinal signs. I am so happy that y'all stuck around and listened and hung out. I hope to see you in the next video or in the next live. Bye. Hello, Divine Fixed Signs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is for the full moon in Virgo that's occurring March 18th, 2022. And we're going to get right into it. Reading with 3 decks, if you skip past that part. And the first deck is going to be your messages. I'm pulling, or get three cards from that deck. And we're going to see what that says. And then we're going to pull the Rider-Waite, the holographic Rider-Waite for clarification. And then an oracle for each sign. Excellent. So we got these that jumped out, the 2 of diamonds, the 9 of clubs, or the sun, and let's see what else. Ooh. That was too many that fell out. And that was my bad. Alright. And the star, the 7 of diamonds. Beautiful. So I see that maybe you were possibly coming from confusion, or maybe a decision-making time for some of us, fixed signs, and or just like trying to rebalance our lives. There's a large sense of like rebalancing going throughout the signs. I'm going to do some clarification with this, but I think that overall with these cards, they're very progressive. The 2 of diamonds, or 2 of pentacles, actually, that's the 2 of pentacles. The diamonds is the pentacle suits in this deck, and I see that maybe there was some financial, probably energetic, maybe imbalances, and now they're coming to a greater sense of balance with the sun and the star coming out. We're finding sort of a way to, yeah, Queen of Pentacles, we're finding a way to make them work for us, these life aspects that does encourage more balance and growth. We got the 8 of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. So maybe, yeah, that's that confusion aspect, or that like uncertainty aspect, or that unsure aspect, okay, that was here with the 2 of diamonds. And maybe you were sideswiped by, wow, yeah, I see that. Okay. Huh. Excellent. I see that there is a lot of growth happening, maybe unbeknownst to you. Maybe you're ignoring it. Maybe you're ignoring the process of growth, or maybe because it is a process, you're just experiencing life as it is and going with the flow, essentially, with this Ace of Cups that just came out. Ooh, we got the Death card after the Ace of Cups. Okay, I'm going to pull some more, and then I'm going to pull the Art Oracle for each sign. The fixed signs are Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. Alright, so I will be pulling signs for each of you right after I get into this. So, yeah, I feel like everything's becoming illuminated. There's new opportunities of wealth or restoration at hand. And you could have shared certain things that you've had been holding on to and allowing to grow, and you finally sort of got it off of your chest. You've communed with others and let them know what's up, you know what I mean? And that really opened up this avenue of being able to dive into what you really love and what you really desire, right? And I think that there's still a sense of insecurity with that, to be honest. A sense of possibly, too good to be true energy almost with this Death card, right? Just know that it is rebirthing. There is like a dawning of a new day happening back here. This is the sun. I don't know if you can see that, but behind this, this horseman, there's light. In front of this horseman, there is light. There is divine guidance in front of this horseman. So everything is going just along as it should. And I see also there may be a degree of anxiety, okay, at this time happening for for some of the fixed signs here. And just know that everything is happening for a reason, and you know, work on breathing and finding a center and a homeostasis when those times do happen, okay? So I'm going to pull the Art Oracle for you. First, I'm going to do it for Taurus, because they're next up in the timeline. And then after Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and then Aquarius. So let's go into Taurus and see what the Art Oracles have to say for you, Taurus. Excellent. You got William Morris. Someone else got William Morris. Bad truth makes good fantasy. To be prolific, be versatile, and art is methadone of the masses. So yeah, I don't think this is saying to lie, but I do think it is saying to really formulate like what would go into the reality that you're looking to establish for yourself. Or if you're not looking to establish anything, be comfortable in the fantasy that you're living in, okay? Do you, boo. That's basically what this is saying to me. And as well, art is the methadone of the masses. So I would take up some type of activity, some type of project or something of those lines that sort of keep you in the vibration of whatever you choose to be in, which is either reality or fantasy. And don't regret it. Okay? Like, don't go all out. Just vibe out. That's what I feel. Next, we're going to go into, thank you, Taurus, that was your message. Leo, you're next. Leo, a card just jumped up, but then went right back down. So, let's see. Leo, what is our oracle message for Leo? Ooh, okay. Jackson Pollock almost stood out, but we have Wassily Kandinsky that came out with Buckminster Fuller. And Buckminster Fuller, I'm going to read first. He says, live to serve, serve to solve, invent the words by which to live your life, and such great heights, not such great heights, that's one of my favorite songs. Great heights are best seen from your lowest point. So, I think this is really funny because Cancer had a similar message, and Cancer is right before Leo and the timeline of things. It's really challenging you to ready and steady your perspectives on things, and to establish what your identity is, who you are, right? And why you do what you do, okay? And I think that's really great. A Leo that I know, like, what he does for the love of what he does, for the love of helping people. And I think that's really beautiful. But along with Buckminster Fuller, we have Wassily Kandinsky, and it says transcend systems to find spirit, hear music through sight, and begin with the dot. So I think it's really talking about seeing yourself as the dot, you know, and working on yourself to recognize exactly what you want out of life and out of the things that you do. And to find a sense of balance within that, and not allow it to torment you. All of these choices, all of these opinions and things like that of what people think you should do, okay? Yeah, invent your reality. That's basically what that is saying to me. And that is your message, Leo. Next, we're going to go into Scorpio. Scorpio, let's see what the oracles have to say for you. And for you, Scorpio, you got Artemisia Gentilici. And the message is, history has your back, society stabs you in it. Use your talent like a weapon and don't let convention confine you. Yeah, I think that this is, again, a lot about perspectives, but I also think that it's about how you put yourself out there, okay? And maybe how you put yourself out there, and that's to say, like, take a chance. Take a chance doing something new. Try something new. People are going to have something to say about it anyway. Like, just do you. Like, I think that's what a big message for the fixed signs is do you, you know? And I would say, like, really distinguish between, like, crap talking and constructive criticism. That is very important at this time. And I think that when you don't know how to necessarily articulate what you want to say, to allow who you are to show up for yourself and what you do to show up for yourself. And stay true to that. Okay? Alright, yeah. History has your back. I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, because, you know, this is just one timeline that we're on. You probably, I don't know how many times you've been here, Scorpio, but I would say this is probably not your first time being around in this reality. So there you go, Scorpio. That is your message from the art oracles. And then lastly, we have, not last but not least, we have Aquarius. And Aquarius, let's see what your message is. Remember that the messages from the art oracle that I'm giving are also in tandem with the first part of the reading, so make sure you go back and watch that part if you have not yet. For Aquarius, we just left Aquarius season for this year. I hope it served you well. Okay. Yes. Ooh, the cards are like silent right now, Aquarius. Okay, so for you, for Aquarius, we got Piet Mondrian. And for you, Aquarius, it says, logic should come from the heart. True simplicity takes a lot of concentration, and find utopia in a straight line. So, okay, that's really great. Logic should come from the heart. I think that this, again, is a message of perspectives and what we put into things, how much of ourselves we devote to things. And the more that we devote ourselves to matters, the more that I think we'll get out of it. I think this is also asking you to sort of take the reins on your life and the structure around your life. There's a lot of structure here, except for with this card. This is very artsy. But in order to encourage more growth and more abundance in any situation in your life and in your life in general, find utopia in a straight line. That for me is saying, like, that all of that abundance, all of that glory, comes from really committing to a certain way of being, a certain manner of being, and a certain way of believing. And I think that goes in line with the logic coming from the heart aspect. Okay? So, yeah. that is your reading, Aquarius, and cardinal signs. Thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure to check out the timestamps so you can go back and see the main reading and sort of amalgamate it all together for yourself and your life and your experiences, and so that you can navigate this time period to the best of your ability. Thank you so much. Stay divine. You couldn't not be divine if you tried. Thank you again for clicking on this video. I hope to see you again in the next video or in a live. Alright, bye!